Good morning, everybody. This is Dorene Petersen. Welcome to all of our fall ACHS students. I want to let you know, obviously, President and founder of American College of Healthcare Sciences, and I'm really excited to share our wide range of tools with you today for success to help you get the most from your classes and support you right through graduation. I hope you can all see my screen. And just to let you know that we are recording today's seminar. So if you could, if you have questions as we go through, make a note of them. And then I've created a discussion group on the My ACHS Connect network, and post your questions there. I'll be sure to get back to them today and tomorrow as they come in, and then everyone can see those questions. So I see you said you can't hear me. Let me just see if I can fix that. I'm going to be doing that. Can you hear me now? So let's just hope that if someone could just let me know if that is better.
No.
It's not.
No.
Okay. Let me just get here and see if we can get the sound fixed. Just hold 1 second. Okay, so yes, if everyone could mute themselves, and also please turn your TVs and radios off. Yes, could somebody please turn the TV off, and also if everyone could mute the telephone lines. I'm actually talking to you through my computer, so if somebody could just, as I keep talking, if you could let me know if things are improving. So 10 attendees.
Hello. Oh, there you go. Now you're back.
And I see you tell me that my voice is perfectly clear. Okay, good. So, well, it's clear. Okay, terrific. Well, I'm just going to get started then. Thank you very much again for attending. I'm sorry about that technical glitch, but we'll get going. So welcome to the September term. And again, I'm being told that attendees are still unmuted. So if everyone could mute, there's a green button on a microphone button on the left-hand side under the orange arrow. It's the second icon down on the GoToMeeting control panel. If everyone could hit that, that would be terrific. That's definitely going to help everybody's sound quality. So let's get started. So I think we're good to go. I think everyone's now muted, it's telling me. So terrific. Okay, so again, welcome to September term 2012, and we have created a webinar here that is going to help you access some great success tools. Firstly, I want to make sure, I'm sure everyone's done the online student orientation, and if you're a returning student, you may think, why would I want to do that? Well, obviously, if you're a new student, you're definitely going to do it. But if you're a returning student, still do it, because we update the student orientation frequently, and it will really help you become very familiar with the online class functionality. Cyber Cafe and instructor tools, great way to develop relationships with all your fellow classmates. Hop in that Cyber Cafe, get to know everyone, and in your virtual office, the instructor virtual office, that's where you're going to post your discussions, any question that comes up. You can ask anything, express your course needs, everything goes there in your instructor's virtual office. The course start survey, you're going to find this in module 1 of your online classroom, and it's really great if you can all do that we really read surveys. We take a lot of notice of what you tell us. We all those suggestions go to committee, and we make those changes, and by really telling us those things, we can support your learning experiences. Social media, of course, being online is just fantastic that we can create a global community, and we have students all over the world. Some of your classmates right now might be international, and you want to make sure that you're connected in this way. It's just such a lot of fun. And right there on your course home landing, just click on that ACHS Social Media Center, and you're going to see Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, your My ACHS Connect, which of course is our private student and graduate only network, and then the ACHS blog and Flickr. The databases and webinars, I just want to make sure that you know there's a lot of resources that are only available to our students in your classroom. And the virtual library is where you want to look. And it's the very last module in your classroom. And some of the really amazing things are the Natural Standards Database and the Natural Medicines Comprehensive Database. Both of these databases are subscription. They're for an individual, they're really cost prohibitive, and so really make the most of those while you have them. For graduate students, you're going to see a couple of other resources. There's the OHSU Lending Library that you have access to online, and there's also the Learning Resource, the LIRN Library, that is really worthwhile checking out. Registration. Remember, we don't automatically register you for classes, so make sure you look at the program catalogue, look at the order of the classes for your program, and usually registration deadlines are about 6 weeks before class starts. Register by December 1st for January courses, so you really have to plan your program, plan your study time. Classes do fill up quick, and I know some people were still on the waiting list for classes for the September semester, and you just want to be sure you get into your class. What's fun about that is you stay with your classmates. Remember, when you start your class in the 101, you're going to be creating bonds and friendships that are going to take you all the way through your program. And it's great if you can keep moving with your classmates. Your student information system, you will have all been in here, I hope, where you're going to log into your class. You can view your grades. You can actually do your degree audit, which is just a great resource. You can also print an unofficial transcript. You can chat with us live. Of course, you can do that right from our homepage as well. And you can access your My ACHS social network. So make sure you're familiar with all of those resources. The FAQs, if you've got a question about a policy, or you need a form, or you require information about any topic, you can find it in our online searchable FAQs. Right there on the home page, very bottom right, that question mark in the FAQs, click on that, have a browse around there. It's a great way to become familiar with policies. Once you're a graduate, there are lots of alumni opportunities. Our alumni have their own page. We have famous alumni. Now, anyone who has a public profile and wants to can actually apply for to be the Distance Education Training Council Famous Alumni of the Year. So take a look at that. Graduate of the Year, same thing. any graduate who fulfills the requirements. You can look at what those are, can apply for the DETC Graduate of the Year. Great opportunity to really talk to a lot of people about your achievements, your success, and you also get to come to interesting locations and make a presentation. So that's always a lot of fun. Industry recognitions and more. So there's really a lot going on the alumni page. Check it out. We also have a practitioner directory. This is a free complimentary listing. It's not going to cost you anything. You can get listed there. Just a great way to help build your business, and also really fun for you as students to get in there and take a look at what some of our graduates have done. They're really doing exciting things. If you need help building a website, there's a resource for you. Jared is one of our instructional designers here. He's going to be hosting a webinar shortly on how to build a great business website. Really simply, he tells me. So be sure to connect with him and check that out. Our global community and networking. I think this is what is really exciting about being part of the ACHS family. Pretty much the students everywhere. I mean, right now, I think we have students in 80 different countries, and of course, all over the United States. Connect with everybody. There's LinkedIn, there's YouTube, there's Facebook, all of those things listed there, worldwide and lifelong. And if you're local or visiting, please come by the campus. You don't need to make an appointment. You don't need to call and tell us you're coming. You can just pop in. Of course, if you want to see me, and I love to meet you when you come by, do call because I want to make sure I'm here. But if you just want to come by, check us out, browse around the botanical teaching garden, check out the college store. We love to see our students, our graduates, when they come by. We've also had graduates who come by and connect with people they haven't seen. You know, they've only met in their classroom. So I remember one morning we had a student from Texas and a student from, I think, California. They'd become friends online and they got together here on campus. It was a lot of fun. We also have a lot of workshops and events here. If you're not local, if you can't come, we do video all of those, and they are all on the YouTube channel, which is why it's good to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that will send you an email to let you know a new video's up there. Not only do we video the local classes here on campus, but there's a lot of videos there of my research travels abroad. And I was recently in Paraguay and Brazil, so you can see some videos there of petitgrain harvesting and distillation, and also some interesting vetiver harvesting and distillation. Open door policy. We are fully committed to our students and graduates, and we have an official open door policy for all offices, including my office. There's all my information. Call me anytime, email me anytime. I'm always here. I really want you to know that I am accessible. One of my hopes for you during your time here is not only to become a successful graduate, of course that's what we're here for, and we want to really impassion you to carry the holistic banner out into the global community, but I also hope that you find tools and inspiration to improve your own health and well-being. That's what it's all about. I did want to focus on some specific questions and try and answer those. And this may help with some of the questions you may be having at the moment. But if not, remember to jot down your questions as I'm talking and post those on the My ACHS group that you'll see there. So a lot of times people ask, how does the online classroom work? I mean, you know, you're all in class right now, so you've kind of got that one figured out, I hope. But a lot of the times people think, well, do I have to log in at a specific time? So I want to make sure that you know that you don't have to log in at a specific time. 24/7, it's open. You can wake up in the middle of the night and have a question on your mind, and you can hop into your virtual office and post those questions. You never know, you might find somebody else in a different time zone in class. So there's plenty of opportunity to just work at your own pace. However, while there are not specific times you have to log in, we have found that the most dynamic and the best experience for most students is to interact with your classmates and faculty, if not daily, then at least 6 days a week, if you can. As well, of course, you do have assignment dates in every module. Some of them are every week, some of them are 2 weeks. So you'll likely be logging in anyway, but that's a schedule that you have to create for yourself. So how do I know when my assignments and exams are due? A really common question. I want to make sure that you've all seen your course checklist. It's up there on my screen where that top red arrow is pointing. And this is right on your course homepage, but it's kind of down the bottom. So you've got to scroll down, take your screen all the way to the bottom and you'll find that course checklist. You're going to open it. You're going to click on that. And all your due dates for all of your module assessments are found there. And up the top, of course, you're going to see all the announcements. So that's just a great place to see your due dates, and it can really help you plan your week. Why do I need to follow due dates if it's an online class? This is a common question. Well, you need to follow your due dates because that's when your assignment is due. You can complete that any time during that week or 2 week segment, but you do have to keep on time and on track. And I'm sure those of you who have got a little off track in previous classes know that student services and your instructor will be following up with you if they see that, but very important to keep on track. What about when I need to take a trip or spend time away from the class, or if I have an unexpected absence? Well, it's good if you're going to be away, please let your instructor know in advance. And that they'll really help you support your efforts towards working ahead, maintaining or catching up with coursework. If you do have an unexpected absence or missed deadline, hey, it can happen to all of us, right? Life. You should contact your instructor just as soon as possible. And you can also let your student services person know as well. What about military students on active duty? I know a lot of you are military and active duty veteran, military spouse students. We want to support you. We understand the unique challenges and the commitment you've made, and we know there's a lot of challenges that you could face in your studies. I want to make sure you know the tools that we provide. So obviously 24/7 online access. We've actually had students studying, letting us know they're in a tent in Afghanistan, letting us know they're doing their labs, making their infusions over Bunsen burners in their tents. Make sure that you know we have military deferral, non-punitive grades. You can resume your studies in the next semester if anything happens. You can pick up where you left off if your class is interrupted by active duty service. We also have priority registration when you're ready to resume your studies. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank all our military students who are on the webinar this morning. Who can I call for technical support? Our technical team is on hand. We've got a 24/7 help desk. There's the number there. And if you can never get through to that, or if you can't get through to that, but I know it's pretty accessible, or if you still have an issue, you can always call here, and we're here 8:30 to 5:30. You can also ask a technical question through live chat, and you may also find the answer in the FAQ. So there's a variety of resources, but anything in your online classroom, we do provide that 24/7 help desk. What is the schedule of classes and how long are they and when do they run? So there you're going to find that on the on the course calendar, which you can access from the homepage. Classes are semester based. A standard term is 16 weeks. So we offer classes January, May, and September. And you're going to be able to find that, as I said, on the homepage. You can, for registration dates. You can also call Student Services or the Registrar's Department. We do offer some limited 8-week accelerated terms in March and July and October with Aroma 101 and Herb 101 classes. So we've got another accelerated class of Aroma and Herb starting in October. That's a good way to get ahead if you want to catch up into the January semester. How do I contact my instructor? Well, there's a number of different ways to contact your instructor. You can email your instructor directly. You can also email Student Services right within your online class. So just go to that email tab near to your gradebook tab, which is at the very top. And there you can actually select the person you wish to email. You can also review that functionality in the student orientation course overview. And when you download the webinar, you see exactly where that is. But as we discussed, you can also post in your instructor's virtual office. If you need your instructor to call you, just email them and let them know that. Sometimes we need, one-on-one hand-holding with through the telephone, and that's fine also. What is the recommended reading and the study kit? Now, a lot of you will have already received your lab materials. I'm a great believer in experiential learning. When I'm learning, I love to actually do things. So if I'm learning about an oil or if I'm writing a new monograph on an oil, I want to immerse myself in that oil. I want to be smelling it, using it, blending with it, bathing with it. If it's a herb, I want to be infusing it, tincturing it, making things with it. I really want to learn it. I want to get to know what I'm studying, just as if I've met a new friend, and I really want to get to know that friend. So really important to get to know the materials, the tools that you will be accessing when you go out into the global community and practice wellness and share your knowledge. So the lab kits are a great way to do that, and some classes have them already built in, others they don't. They're recommended lab kits. So check that out. There's also recommended reading. If you're the type of person who wants to really extend your knowledge, really delve into things a little deeper. There's some great books. All the books that we recommend, we personally love. They've either been recommended by faculty or our advisory board, and I do a final review on everything. So they're really a terrific resource. They're not required. You don't have to do that. So you're not going to be assessed on that in any way. It's just an adjunct to your course material. Of course, we really want to help you maximize your tuition dollars, and we're doing our best to also live our sustainability policy. And so printing or not printing and providing a green online textbook or e-textbook is a great way to do that. It's going to save you money. It's more sustainable. You can download it right from your classroom as a PDF. You can download it to your phone. You can download it to your iPad. You can download it to your computer. And what I love about that is it's accessible. You can search on specific words. In the PDF, you can actually highlight it and mark it up and make comments and write notes to yourself. Now, I don't know whether it's my, I'm a baby boomer, so I don't know whether it's my age or what, but I still love taking my textbooks to bed And I mean, you know, it's very hard to take your computer to the bath, and I like reading in the bath. So having said, you know, we want to practice sustainability, I still love printed materials. And a lot of people, you know, do both. And you, of course, will receive the e-textbook, whether you get your printed textbook or not. Proctoring. We are required to have a certain number of credits proctored, and it really depends on whether you're taking the undergraduate or graduate level classes. For undergraduate studies, any classes, you'll see an announcement noting that the final is proctored. As well, in the final exam module, there will be a section entitled Exam Proctoring. Good idea to kind of suss that out first in your online class. We do provide a proctoring service. There is a testing fee of $35. You need to contact ProctorU for scheduling and payment. If you're not able to do that, you can also set up an in-person proctor. For graduate level studies, you do need to complete at least 3 final exams with a proctor. If you need help at all setting any of that up, please don't hesitate to contact Student Services, and they'll be more than happy to help you. So what class do I take next? Good question. So if you go to your student information portal and log in, it's really a useful place to look at your degree audit under My Utilities and see what you've done already. Look at your grades and see what you have left to complete. Now, some of you may have just enrolled in one course, and that's fine too. You haven't enrolled in a program, you've enrolled in one course. When you've finished that course, you may really love it and think, wow, you know, I think I want to go on and actually complete a program, graduate in a program. You can do that also. So call admissions and get that set up. But if you're in a program and you need to register for your next class, this student portal is going to help you do that. Remember, we don't automatically register you, so you've got to keep on top of that. Questions and answers on if I'm doing a program, can I complete a certificate or diploma? Well, as you move through your program, the way it's structured, you are actually going to be completing certificates and maybe even a diploma and come out the other end with either your associate's degree or your master's degree. So it's a great question, and it can really help you maximize your credits, ones you've gained and earned so far, as well as to provide further professional credential. So again, just call Student Services and see what they can help you with if you have a question on that. Now, this is a common question. So, is natural product manufacturing and other holistic modalities a market that continues to grow and maintain some growth into the future, both in the US and Canada? Well, wouldn't it be great if we had a crystal ball? And I would love to be able to say that I know this for a fact. But I do believe, and from all the data and facts that I've seen, it is definitely a growing market. The organic and holistic market is continuing to blossom despite a recession. And of course, health, the whole healthcare industry is growing as well. Of course, Canada is a different market. And but worldwide it's growing. It's not just limited to the United States or Canada. I mean, if you think about it, complementary alternative medicine, or CAM, integrative medicine, alternative medicine, pretty much all the same thing. It's been around for centuries, and people are really getting back into more natural ways of being healthy. We're living longer. We've got a lot of challenges. We need to maintain a positive and holistic frame of mind and body. And there's just a lot of consumer need out there. And consumers are really driving this. They want it. and I think you can be confident that it's a growing industry. I don't know if any of you had an opportunity to download my white paper on aromatherapy, the state of aromatherapy in the United States. There's some great market research statistics in that give you some just amazing facts about the growth of the aromatherapy industry. This was another question a student asked me. I thought I'd like to share with you. So the Canadian government has implemented changes to what herbals are being sold. Well, will there be a market for jobs in the herbal and natural product manufacturing business in Canada? And will the certificate I receive upon completion be recognised in Canada? Good question. You know, American colleges do not usually seek accreditation specifically from foreign countries, but American graduates do work all over the world. Many international students come to the US or study online. So that said, you know, any recognition of a degree is really at the discretion of the institution and their internal policies. There are some great US Department of Education resources about international recognition. Of course, it depends what your certificate is in. And when you download the webinar, I can provide you with some links there that will help you with that. Can you please address whether you foresee government regulation or herbs and or essential oils becoming controlled substances? Well, again, this is where I need my crystal ball. This is a difficult one. Really, you know, when you look at this question on a global scale, there have been quite remarkable changes in Britain and in Europe. The European Union has created a lot of legislation over the last 2 or 3 years in relationship to government regulation of herbs, and a lot of it is based on safety issues. So, and also organic certification and actual levels of pesticides and contaminants in some of these materials. So I think it is important to keep an eye on this. As far as the United States go, we have some interesting legislation right now with that's looking to make changes with DSHEA. The legislation has not gone through yet, but we also have some very strong organizations such as the Natural Products Association, which I would highly recommend that you visit. The college is a member of that organization. You're also able to join. They're doing some amazing work in continuing to educate and assist the politicians to understand the consumer need and the American people's need for access to natural materials. So I think there is a lot of organized opposition to any changes to DSHEA, and it is important that you really pay a lot of attention in your studies to learning how to work within the very clear guidelines of what you can or cannot do if you do not have a healthcare license. And that's just a really important part of what we're going to be teaching you. Is there any licensing for natural health professionals? Again, a very good question. There's quite a lot of legislation relating to some complementary alternative medicine. For example, chiropractic, naturopathic, massage, osteopathy. As you know, it's state specific. Really important for you to check in what is happening in your state. Every state is different. And if you're already a licensed allied healthcare provider, you may be able to adjunct your complementary modality. So if you're already a chiropractor, you can adjunct aromatherapy and herbal medicine to your existing practice. But obviously check with your licensing board regarding your scope of practice and adding additional modalities. So legislation varies from state to state. And as I said, it's really important to check with your own laws in your own state, keep abreast of proposed changes, and I really recommend you get involved. There's a great organization called the National Health Freedom Coalition. One of our graduates is a spokesperson for us there. She's also written a lot of informative blog posts for the ACHS blog on this very issue. That URL is right there on the screen, nationalhealthfreedom.org/state. And just a terrific, very involved organization. Get involved with that, join it, see what's going on. There are a lot of states where the health freedom law has been passed, and it's a growing movement. Again, it's been grassroots, consumer driven, and it's really up to us to help promote that in the states where we live. So Minnesota, of course, was a leader in this, and I believe it's now in at least 7 or 8 states. So one of the lectures in your online classroom also covers this, so make sure that you're really reading that closely. And when you come to do the NAT 306 course, there's a lot of information in that course about this very topic. Very good question. Another good question, what can I call myself when I graduate from ACHS? Well, it really depends on what program you enrolled in and graduate from, but some good examples of things like consultant, educator, herbalist, master herbalist, aromatherapist, master aromatherapist, clinical aromatherapist, holistic health practitioner. Again, it all depends on your program. And after you receive your certificate, diploma, or degree, all graduates can put letters after their name relevant to their program. So if you graduated with a holistic health practitioner, it would be HHP. And you're able to use that designation after your name. So remember, as well, each program has further resources for our alumni. So if you're a graduate in the diploma in aromatherapy, you're not only able to use the DIP aroma, but you can also then register as a candidate for the Aromatherapy Registration Council exam and become a registered aromatherapist. Then you can put, if you're successful with that, you can put RA after your name. The Aromatherapy Registration Council provides an excellent register that is open to, it's international, it's available to all members of the public who are looking for an aromatherapist in their area. It's a great register to be listed on. The exam is only held twice a year. It is an in-person exam, and you do need to travel to the location, but it is held in a number of locations throughout the United States. It's also in Canada and Korea, and actually it can be held anywhere in the world. So it's just a great service. If you're a graduate from the Diploma in Herbal Medicine, you can look to complete the American Herbalist Guild requirements for professional membership. It does require some clinical membership, clinical hours for membership, but it's good to start looking at that and start to think about what you need for that. And you really need to complete your herbalist program before you can apply for that membership. You can also join NANP if you are involved in any of the nutrition programs, and that is a great resource as well. Another great oh, did I go backwards? No, sorry. What can I legally do as a herbalist, aromatherapist, or other holistic health practitioner? sort of a similar question to what we've been talking about. And as I said, legislation is currently in place in a number of states. I mentioned Minnesota, it's also in California. Again, you want to check out the National Health Freedom Coalition. It does offer a state listing that's really useful. We recommend that you become aware of the organizations in your state, consider joining their efforts to support health freedom. Note that completing any training, including courses at ACHS, does not constitute any type of licensure to practice. You will study the relevant legislation in Nat 306, that holistic health consulting class I told you about. That's the 3-credit course. It covers a wide range of issues like this. So anything that's relevant to practicing as a holistic health practitioner, insurance, licensure, registration, and it's actually a required course for all ACHS programs. So if you're enrolled in a program, you will be doing it. I want to let you know that class fills up really quickly. So in the interim, I would recommend, keep it in mind what an unlicensed complementary alternative healthcare provider is ethically and legally able to do. And it's just really important to look at that lecture in your classroom. There's a list there of what you can't do and what you can do, and that is really essential to check that out. And that will be in all of your classes, not just in the Nat 306. How does accreditation help me? Very good question. Well, I want you to know that you can feel confident in choosing ACHS for your education. Accreditation is no easy feat, and it means ACHS is an institution that really merits public confidence. Accredited institutions like us, we have to deliver what we promise. And of course, we want to deliver what we promise. Our programs, all the programs, and all the administration have been rigorously evaluated and found to meet very strict accreditation standards. We're actually really only, there's very few, we're one of the only accredited college offering a master's degree program in complementary medicine by distance ed. And we were the first to offer accredited online programs in aromatherapy, herbal medicine, and other holistic health modalities. So it's just a really, both the Distance Education Training Council and the chair as both very important organisations, and we are very proud to be accredited members of those organisations. What does professional membership after graduation mean and do for me? Well, as a legitimately nationally accredited institution, ACHS has a number of professional memberships and industry recognition. So again, depending on your program, you'll have various opportunities, and you can also sit for various board exams. So for example, as I said, if you graduate with a certificate or diploma in Master Aromatherapy, you can sit the Aromatherapy Registration Council exam. And as a graduate of the Diploma in Holistic Health Practice, you can sit the board exam for the National Association of Nutrition Professionals. That's the NANP.org. You can see a full list of exam opportunities under program descriptions. As well, in the FAQ, you want to look up industry recognition and memberships. And remember always, if you can't find any of this when you're looking, just pick up your phone and call Student Services. They'll be happy to help you if you have any further questions. Do I need insurance? Good question. You will study relevant legislation again in Nat 306, which is going to help you assess the whole issue of insurance, licensure, and registration. And I do recommend student and practitioner liability insurance. We have secured through the Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals. If you're an aromatherapy student, you can work with insurance there. And you should, if you haven't got that information yet, again, call Student Services or anyone here at ACHS and they can help you with that. Insurance, if you are in the Diploma in Holistic Health Practice, is through, again, NANP, and so check that out. There's more information, again, at the FAQs, so you're just going to go to the faq.achs.edu, and of course I showed you where to find it on the course homepage, right down there at the bottom under FAQs, and just type in the word insurance. And you will also see a lot more resources. If you have a pen right now, and of course you'll be able to see this when you download the webinar, but make a note of this URL, www.hpso.com. So that's H for Harry, P for Peter, S for Sally, and O for Orange.com, and that has further insurance information. So just some good resources there. How did you get started in your profession of choice, and how do I? Really good question. Well, I'm not sure if any of you have had a chance to read my biography, my history, my bio on the web, but let me just share with you a little bit about myself. I'm a Kiwi, obviously, New Zealander, hence the funny accent. And I grew up in New Zealand in the late 50s and 60s when it was really common, every weekend, you would go out harvesting whatever was in season. And by that I mean we would go mushrooming, we would go gathering elderflowers, we would go gathering elderberries, we would go gathering seaweed to make into seaweed tea for my mum and dad's great veggie garden. And, I grew up eating veggies out of our home garden, all based on organic resources, and it was just no big deal. I mean, it's just what we did, and there was really no McDonald's, there was no Taco Bell, there was not much canned food, no frozen food, and even if there was, my family was certainly not the kind of family that had access to that. I grew up in a working class family. We had plenty, but my parents were certainly not rich or upper middle class by any means, and they worked hard, and we all ended up being able to go to college and being well educated and having a great life. But I grew up knowing that all around me there was wonderful resources. And the other great influence in my life was my grandma. My mum's mum would take me out into the field. Again, it was no big deal. She just needed help, and she would show me what I had to dig up, and I would dig it because I was helping my grandma. And I later realized I was digging up dandelion root and I was digging up yellow dock root, and we would take it back into the kitchen and we would clean it and we would boil it up and make what she called was a tonic, which to me tasted disgusting and looked disgusting. And when she would give it to all us kids in a great big tablespoon, we would say, oh, it tastes bad. And she would say, well, of course it does. It's medicine. Hold your nose and get it down. So that was kind of how I grew up. And we really didn't resort to pharmaceuticals much at all. Although when we had to, of course we did. My mom was a nurse. She actually ended up she ran a hospital. And so we did have pretty much an integrative lifestyle. And then as I got older, I graduated with a degree in ethnobotany, archaeology. I was fascinated in, traditional early medicine, and became more and more interested in how that could be applied to our everyday modern life. I started out actually working as a medical social worker in a regular medical hospital, very disillusioned with seeing the results of really empty, bad food, bad diets in hospitals, and too many um, drug interactions and drug symptoms, and just not really feeling that wellness and health was the focus. So I realized that I needed to study further, and I went on and did a postgraduate 4-year degree at the South Pacific College of Natural Therapies. And while I was there training, because I'd really done a lot of study on my own into herbal medicine, I was asked to start setting up what they call extramural programs. And extramural in those days, because we're talking 40 odd years ago, was our modern day online. But of course, everything was done with the post and the mail. So it was pretty interesting, and that was a terrific time for me. I had some absolutely fantastic teachers. One of my most beloved teachers, his name was David Duggan. He's since departed, but no longer with us. But his spirit lives on, because he was a true inspiration, and he had studied naturopathic medicine in the very early days. He had a thriving business. He helped a lot of people, and he also walked his walk and talked his talk. I mean, he lived what he believed. And whenever you asked him how he was, he would always say, "Oh, in the pink." And once I asked him why he said that, and he said because every time he said that, he bathed himself and the person he was speaking to in pink light. And that's something I share with you, and I try and do that myself. And I'm a great believer in visualization and the power of positive thought. After I graduated from that college, I studied with people like Bernard Jensen and Anne Wigmore. I was just really lucky to meet a lot of terrific, inspirational people in my life. I've had a lot of fantastic mentors, and the college really in New Zealand just boomed and took off, and we had students pretty much all over the world pretty quickly. Again, it was all male, and at the same time, I ran a busy clinic. So I had 15 years clinical experience as well. And as you know, I moved here in the late 80s, and we set up the college here in the United States. And I'm very blessed to be living in wonderful Portland, Oregon, which of course is an incredible green city and very open to everything we believe in. So just to give you a little bit of a background on me, when I first started, I would do things like lots of free lectures and create flyers, and I would give lots of free advice. I'm a great believer in what I call the giveaway philosophy. I do believe it's important to share, and you never know when the seed you sow will flourish. And so I feel strongly that we have a responsibility globally, and the healthier and more well each individual becomes globally, we will experience more peace and just a happier world. I really feel that, and each one of us can make a difference. Well, we've got 5 minutes. I just want to take a few minutes to thank you all very much for attending. I hope the sound quality improved. I think this is a great shot. This final shot, it was the opening shot as well, the ACHS Global Family. So when you call here, these are some of the wonderful people that are behind the scenes supporting what you do. And Joel in Student Services is over there on the right-hand side looking at your screen. We have the Assistant Registrar, Brooke, on his shoulder. We have Marion in the foreground. She's one of the admissions advisors. We have Kelly there in the white t-shirt. She is in the manager of the shipping. So she's responsible for getting all your materials and apothecary orders to you. There's Tanya at the back there, and Tanya is my assistant. Jared, he's the head right under the welcome sign, and he's the guy who's going to be teaching you how to make great websites, and he's just a fantastic person here at ACHS. We have Lauren moving into the foreground now, beside Kelly in the white t-shirt. She's the communications manager. She's also teaching English 101 and 201, so she's also on-site faculty here. So when you talk to Lauren, she's probably sitting at her desk just down from my office. We have Heather moving to the background again, and Heather, of course, Dean of students, and she works closely with Joel in Student Services. Beside her, with her hand up, is DW. Actually, her name is Dorene, but since we can't have two Doreens in the office, we call her DW because her name is Doreen Wood. She is responsible, along with Jared and Lauren, and of course Erica, who's not in this shot, for creating your wonderful online classrooms, and they're also an integral part of the curriculum committee. So if you have any issues at all in your online classroom, send an email to updates@ACHS, and those are the people who will take care of it. In front of DW, with the cap on, with the college cap on, is Suzanne. She's in the business office. So when you come to do your payments, that's who you're going to be talking to. We have Tracy Abel there in the front in the white t-shirt. She is Director of Admissions and also Operations, and I'm sure a lot of you have talked to her. Amy, beside her, and with the blonde hair, Amy, she is in admissions, and she's been with us a long time. And then Elizabeth at the very back there under the sign. So you'll probably talk to her when you call. I wanted to introduce everyone to you, and of course a lot of you who are local know us, but a lot of you who are not local, that's who we are. Of course, I'm not there, and we've got a few people missing. Kate Harmon's not there, Director of Marketing, and neither is Erica Yixel. So, again, I know we didn't have time for questions. Remember to go to my ACHS. The group is there. You'll have to send me a notice that you want to join the group. I will accept your email straight away. I'll be on there most of the day. And that way we all get to see each other's questions. So again, I want to thank you very much for spending an hour with me this morning. It's been a great pleasure to share with you what I have. I did spend some time yesterday looking at everyone's registration and getting to know you. And I'd be really happy too if you would friend me on my ACHS. And if you're on Facebook, friend me on Facebook as well, and make sure you friend the college or like the college, and we can stay connected that way. So thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.